Hello Aries, and welcome to your September 2022 video. This video is for Sun, Moon and Rising. Your Sun sign is your goals and what you're wishing to achieve. Your Moon sign is more your internal world, your private life, your emotional world. It's also not that what everyone gets to see. It's like, think of yourself at home, the people's closest to you, right? And your Rising is your external world and what you give off. So Mercury goes retrograde on the 10th of September until the 3rd of October of 2022. Mercury is a planet of communication, technology, and also travel. So when it's in retrograde, it's important to understand that experiences from the past come back. Even our mind, we're thinking a lot about the past, right? It rules our intellect especially. So we're thinking about the past, we have a bit of mental fog. It's time to slow down, restore our spirit. Miscommunication, misunderstanding, confusion happens during Mercury retrograde, during communication. No matter what communication it is, whether it's in person, whether it's over the phone, or whether it's via text, email, all of it, okay? Even social media. And we can experience technology difficulties, so it's important to back up all information. Make sure that you have all your passwords, everything is backed up, because when Mercury goes retrograde, it impacts technology. It's like when you go into a store and they'll be like, sorry, we're offline, we're having this issue with our tech, our tech area, all of those things. So be more patient. If anything, Mercury retrograde teaches us to be more patient. Watch how you're driving on the road, especially travel. If you're making appointments, check the time, the date, the location, you know how to get there, and give yourself time in case of any delays. If you are ordering anything online, make sure when you order that you understand that Mercury is in retrograde, and sometimes things can take a bit longer during that process. Mercury retrograde is very important for rest, respite, restoring, and reevaluating past experiences. It's not a great time to start a new relationship. Great time to complete things. Not a great time to sign any new contracts, get into this new business deal. Nope. Okay, that's a hard no. Mercury retrograde is great for completion. So if you had a project or a partner prior, you can continue working and completion can happen. However, watch out for the miscommunication. If you have to sign any documentation, read, reread, and reread if you have to. If not, try and get all of that done before Mercury goes retrograde. On the 6th, for you Aries, we have Venus in your 6th house, right? This is great for physical vitality. This is telling you to take more care of your body, but in a good way. It's like, maybe if I tried that diet, and not diet, let's say eating plan. I'm not a fan of diets. I'm not. So if when you have an eating plan that works for you, sometimes when we change things, it really helps us. Though Venus in the 6th can often give us a sweet tooth. So why not? Why not indulge a little? Because Venus loves to indulge. Venus is a goddess of love. So love, luxury, beauty, wealth. It's really all of those things. So relaxation, indulging in your senses, your physical body feeling revitalized by that delicious meal you've had. That's what it's looking for. It's not diet like, strict. This is like indulge in what makes your senses and your physical body feel alive. This is also telling you to find ways to manage your time, but in a good way. It's like, I think I'm gonna cut that out. That's such a waste of my time. Right? And now I have more time to read my book or watch that movie or do something really fun for me. Venus in 6 is also very much passionate about your work life. You might be thinking about ways to, changing of jobs, doing something you're more passionate at work can really help you with those things. Venus in the 6 is also good for finances there when it comes to your work, rewards through the services that you are providing and giving. We all do, no matter what we do. Whether you're self-employed, you have a service. Whether you're working in a company, you have a service, and that service that you do is going to be offered with some form of reward. So Venus in the 6 is telling you, be of service, but enjoy yourself. Make sure you're making time to relax, to rejuvenate, to take time to really embrace your senses. On the 10th, we have a full moon, and this will be happening in your 12th house. isolation, time to self. And also look at how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. There's a time where your health too. 12th house is a big purge. And when I say big purge, it's where we release a lot, where we want to cry, where we want to feel physically like, my body's tired. My body's feeling weary from everything I've experienced. Right? 12th house is like where we store all our experiences, even traumas and everything, long-term past. You are healing. You're wiping the slate clean. You are rejuvenating. And in order to rejuvenate, you got to close some doors and say goodbye to what no longer serves you, right? And that can be your own fears, your own emotions, your own traumas, or it can even be the relationships with others that are no longer serving you. Meaning, what do I mean no longer serving you? It's not about people waiting on you hand and foot. It means no longer serving you for your best self. It's like, that's making me feel tired. It's taking too much of my energy. I feel like I'm being manipulated. I feel like I aren't being told the truth. And this full moon, the 12th, is very enlightening about the truth about self and the truth about others and the truth about you and your experiences and what is no longer needing to be in your life no more. Closing chapters and closing doors and understanding yourself is very healing. On the 10th, we have Mercury retrograding in the 7th house. Miscommunication and misunderstandings in relationships, people from the past coming back, exes, friends, family members, past experiences with all these people. Miscommunication and misunderstandings can often lead to conflict within your relationships. So Mercury is retrograding the 7th and the 6th, but mainly the 7th. It's telling you that you need to watch how you're communicating with other people. Think about what you're saying before you express it. Listen more to what they are saying. Also, the communication works both ways. So they need to also be listening to you. You need to be listening to them. And it needs to be in balance with yourself as well. This also can bring up a lot of conflict, a lot of harsh things that want to be said. Maybe the past is what people want to bring up a lot to you, and maybe you want to move forward, but you'll be dealing with all those things during that Mercury retrograde. Do not get into any new relationships. Do not sign any contracts with anyone new that you've just met. It's a time for healing. It's a time for looking at all your relationships and going down memory lane and seeing where you are now. And then we have Mercury retrograding in the 6th house later in the later part, but not as long as the 7th. This is telling you to what will bring more health to your life? What will bring more organization to your life? What clutter needs to be decluttered? What is taking up too much energy? What is toxic, unhealthy, bad habits? Especially when it comes to the information you're taking in, the communication, what you're doing with your time, and really focusing on what it is you truly want to accomplish that can bring you the healthiest version of you. Even when it comes to your work as well, you'll be thinking about what changes need to be made. Okay? You can also experience sometimes more conflict and delays when it comes to taking care of your day-to-day tasks and responsibilities, or feeling just overwhelmed and a bit exhausted. So take care of your health during the latter part of the Mercury retrograde. On the 23rd, we have the Sun moving into the 7th house, new moon on the 25th in the 7th house, and Venus in the 7th house. Big focus on the 7th house. Now Mercury is retrograding in that 7th house, and then later into the 6th house. So Sun in the 7th gives you insights and understanding into your relationships. New moon offers a new way of connecting to your relationships, and Venus in the 7th brings healing and understanding. And when we're talking about relationships, it can even be work relationships when Mercury retrogrades there, right? Likes to bring that misunderstanding, conflict in all your relationships. It can be a friendship, it can be a family member, it can be a work relationship. So when we're coming to the 23rd, it's offering you insights, right? The Sun will be like enlightenment about your relationships and the boundaries and the balance you have within them. And maybe there's changes you need to make, and maybe there's changes you need to make when it comes to people. So you first need to see okay, those changes need to be made on me. Maybe I miscommunicate. Maybe I don't say exactly what I need to say. Or maybe I'm too direct and the way I'm coming across is too harsh. And how can I change that? How can I still express myself and be authentic to myself? Maybe I need to listen more. Maybe other people need to listen more to me. How do I get my needs and their needs met in relationships? And that's personally, professionally, friendships, and families. And the new moon offers a new way for you to structure these relationships. And then with Venus there, it's finally the healing and harmony that needs to come in when it comes to your one-on-one relationships. Thank you so much for watching. Do like and subscribe. My website's linked down below, if you would like reading, as well as a link for appreciation of these videos.